Good morning and welcome to the Woodland Wrap-Up. I'm Sophie Greber.
And I'm Ashley Mayfield, and we're from Hawk Headlines. This week is Leadership Week. Students can nominate each other to be recognized as a student leader. Student government has been rewarding nominated kids with leadership awards. Congratulations to everyone who's gotten one so far. As a part of Leadership Week festivities, WRSG's supply drive kicked off on the 22nd. Student government will be collecting paper goods, cleaning supplies, and pet supplies throughout the week. And the advisory with the most donations will be rewarded with a donut party.
Next week, National Honor Society is holding a fundraiser at the Chipotle in Shelton on Wednesday, May 1st. 25% of in-person and mobile order proceeds will be donated to the NHS. If ordering online, please use the code HGMCACZ to ensure your donation.
And now, sports with Bryce.
Here at Woodland, the entire student body had a free week off from school. Despite the week-long reset from schoolwork, there was no shortage of sports all week long at the Woods. The extra rest may have been the leading cause for the excellence we saw last week in the sports world. The girls' softball team had one of their busiest weeks of the whole season last week with an astounding 4 games. They won on Monday against Torrington 25-0 and beat Wolcott on Tuesday with a score of 8-3. Then, on Wednesday, the girls unfortunately took a loss against Seymour with a score of 7-3. Finally, they closed out a week on Friday with a commanding 23-0 win against Derby. Although the team was upset with the loss, they had a very strong week overall. We tried our best against Seymour and worked hard for the win, said sophomore Emma DeGeorge. It sadly just didn't fall in our hands. The boys' baseball team is still undefeated and is showing no signs of slowing down. They improved their overall record to 9-0 last week and won 3 solid games. They beat Torrington 9-4 at home on Monday and then followed it up with a Wednesday win over Seymour 12-1. Finally, they closed out the week on Friday against St. Paul, which usually provides a close competition for the boys. However, they won in commanding fashion 7-0 to continue their perfect season. The boys' tennis team had their first tennis undefeated week of the season last week, with matches on both Monday and Wednesday. They traveled to Wolcott on Monday and came away with a 4-1 win. Then on Wednesday, they went into Crosby and won a dominant 5-0 match. The boys are finally heating up as the season progresses. With a 5-2 record and a 5-match win streak, things are looking good for us, said Captain Carter Davis. The girls' tennis team had a pretty challenging week last week. Their first match on Wednesday was a big win over Seymour with a score of 4-3. However, they dropped a hard-fought game to St. Paul at the end of the week with a score of 5-2. Both games were 2 of their toughest of the season despite the opposite results. With a 6-4 record, we are about to enter the most challenging stretch of the season, said Coach DiGiovanna. It will determine our placement in the NVL tournament. The boys and girl outdoor track teams had their second meet of the season. Unfortunately, both teams took brutal losses against a very strong Naugatuck team. Despite the loss, there were some impressive individual performances. Sam Ambrosio and Gabe Diamante were both able to qualify for states in the 1600. Nick LaChapelle won his first race of the season and qualified for states in the 3200. Finally, Emily Ambrosio became a state qualifier in pole vault. Overall, it was a tough loss, but at the end of the day, we're just racing against ourselves, said Natalie Muharrem. Bryce DiGiovanna, Hawk Headlines.
Thanks, Bryce, and go Hawks! Woodland's Timber Team is holding a fundraiser to support the expansion of their deck. Tickets are $1, and they enter you into a raffle to win $300 for first place, $150 for second place, and $50 for third place. Get your tickets for a chance to win and support the Timber Team.
This week, we have an interview with senior Carter Davis. Carter designed and printed a deck of cards based off of Woodland teachers and images. Can you tell us about why you decided to do this for your project and what your process looked like?
So what I wanted to do was, in the future, I want to go into graphic design, and I thought having my senior project be something that kind of reflects that would be a useful way and a fun way to do it. My process was kind of like I made the back of the cards and then worked on the numbers and the face cards using the likenesses of Mr. Ogren, Dr. Mulligan, Mr. McKenzie, and Mr. Mizuraka.
That's really cool. Do you have any other components or anything of the project other than the actual deck of cards?
So for my presentation, I wanted to learn a couple magic tricks to show the judges. So I'm gonna be doing those with my cards.
That's really cool. I wish that I could do that. Thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. I hope your senior project goes so well. I'm so excited.
And that is this week's Woodland Wrap-Up with me, Sophie Greber.
And me, Ashley Mayfield from Hawk Headlines. Have a good rest of your week.